You hot.
Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
We can hear ourselves.
You're live. SP.
Time to go?
Yep.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us for episode 4 of Creative Brain Candy's Brainstorm. I'm SP from GonnaGeek.com, and I've been asked to host this special episode. With me today are the hosts of Smoking and Drinking in Space and the Brain Trust of Creative Brain Candy. I've got with me Jason.
Hi.
And James.
James here, yes.
Is that the same voice you use on Simply Stogies?
Make women what I do.
Oh God.
I don't think so. And Rob.
You mispronounced Satis. I am Satis, not Rob.
How's that Cooking with Rob show going?
It went great. We just launched a new channel, and everybody seems to be excited about it. I posted, thank you. I posted a picture of my kid roasting a hamburger over a fire for some strange reason. He said he was trying to toast the bun. I don't know. It's Dustin. He's the middle child. He's an idiot.
Yeah, does your wife get mad at you for making her kids stupider?
No, he does that all on his own, which is really strange. Okay, so he's, we give him a hard time and everything like that. Except he's the only one in his class that got straight A's, which is really strange. I don't know. Like, hell froze over.
How many people are in his class?
1.
2.
Do they use a different alphabet?
They must.
I see.
In
How's
A,
everybody
like
doing
in the
today?
middle.
I'm doing
In
well.
Latin.
How are you?
Happy
SP?
Halloween.
Thanks for doing this, by the way, SP. I mean, it was going to be really
My
weird
condolences.
with us like interviewing each other, because that would have been kind of stupid, which is kind of on brand. But
I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
was
a
gonna say.
normal show.
I didn't
It goes
understand
something
why
like this. Rob, why are you dumb? For like an hour.
Would
But
you
that's how
start
the
with
show would
Rob,
go.
or would you say doorknob?
Rob and then doorknob. I'd
potato,
alternate.
potato.
I'd alternate. Yeah.
I don't
And-
cut you down at all, SP. And
Well,
here
well,
you
Rob,
start
I was
out
just
from
gonna-
the gate.
I was just going to ask you, Rob, how did that make you feel?
How did that make me?
I see why he's here. I see why he's here now.
Honestly, I am extremely excited for our recording tomorrow because Boba Fett showed up in the Mando. Spoiler alert,
Jesus.
which means Crowley's out. He's out. He said he's done.
Yeah, I'm done.
Last episode, he said he's done.
I don't want to do Star
He's
Wars
out,
anymore.
so-
I don't want to do The Mandalorian anymore. I don't want to do any of it.
That's too bad.
But Boba Fett didn't show up in his armor, though.
No,
Is
but his
that
armor
like
showed
if-
up.
Is that
Before
like
he
if a
even showed
bear
up.
shits in the woods and nobody's there to hear it? I mean, is it the
I have no
same?
desire to do it. None whatsoever. You could just do it with Rob for 8 weeks.
No.
Oh,
You and Rob.
No.
It'll be
dude,
fine.
this be the
It'll be
best show
fine.
ever.
No.
No, but you can do it with Rob. It'll be fine. In fact, you can rename it Satis, Jason and a Doorknob. I like it. I think it's gold. Podcast gold.
Actually, if Rob and Jason were on it, then it would be true to the couple of guys
It would.
that Jason
It
keeps
would
on
be.
saying at
It
the
would
beginning of the show.
finally be.
Yeah.
We're gonna rehash
Thank you.
this.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are.
Thank you.
I was going to bring this up later, but Jason, as long as we're on this, can you not count how many people are on your podcast?
No, I absolutely can. So we can't count Rob as a full person.
Wait a minute. I
And
was on
James
the
is
show
only about
before
half checked
James
in
ever was.
at any one point anyway. So it is.
What's the name of the
truly
show we
a
do
couple
again?
guys.
I got you.
Yeah.
So he's half checked in. I'm half a dude. Okay.
Can you even vote, Rob? I mean, you
I
shouldn't be
can.
able to, but
I can.
That's sad.
I can.
Let's not talk about politics. What I do want to talk about is the fact that Rob has actually made his bed for this podcast. It is a
Oh, yeah,
bed
look at
in the
that.
background.
Look at that.
I am impressed.
Ooh.
There's no
Well,
dog.
when the Canadians gave me shit about it the last time, I figured
Oh, so
I
we
better-
gave you shit the first 2 episodes.
I don't care what the fuck you say.
But the Canadians give you shit, and all of a sudden it's time to make the bed.
Hey, you're lucky I didn't come up with like a curtain or something. I was going to come up with a curtain situation, but
so it seems like we've delved into this degrading each other very quickly. So it seems like it's like a normal sadist episode.
Yeah. Excellent.
So I need to set some ground rules here. We need to have a safe word for everybody so that if they start to feel uncomfortable, that if they say it, then we can stop and we can discuss what's going on. So Jason, what would be your safe word for this show?
Pumpernickel. Let's use pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel. James, what would your safe word be?
It was literally, seriously, 100% going to be pumpernickel.
Okay, so pumpernickel for both of you. And Rob, what would your safe word be?
Can it be a small phrase?
Yeah, it's whatever you want.
Great. I want "fuck you, Crowley."
I had considered that for myself, but I'm going to choose Emily Van Camp instead.
All right.
Okay, so
Pumpernickel.
You're on video for this show. I know you tried video for Sadist episodes. I don't know if you're continuing that or not, but since we're on the video right now and Rob has made his bed, let's talk about what's in everybody's frame. So Rob, your bed is clearly in the shot there. So is that something that you want showcased for everybody to see? Is the fact that you have a bed behind you?
It's the only time his bed sees any action.
I was going to say I wanted to show everybody where the sausage is made, but
that's gross and doesn't apply.
No.
Doesn't? Okay. No, it just happens to be that way. This is the quietest room in my house.
Always the quietest
other
room in the house.
No,
24/7. 365.
All the time. All the time. Well, it's either that or I go and I record at my normal desktop, and we don't want that, do we, Jason?
No, we don't.
No.
Because you'll hear like 3 other children yelling and screaming and thumping around. I
Notice
mean, it's
how
like they're
Jason
sitting
said
in his lap.
Other children. Other. Therefore implying that Rob is indeed a child.
So Rob, since you're in
Fuck
the
you,
room
Crowley.
recording. Oh, okay. Rob, how are you feeling right now?
I'm
feel
good now. I got it
violated?
off my chest.
Oh, okay.
So
do
you have the little touch doll that I can point to where he touched me?
No,
Show
but I
me
have
on the baby Yoda.
Yeah.
Show me on the baby. Yeah,
Where it hurt you.
right there.
Okay, so since you're recording in your bedroom, do you have to schedule it, or is it always available for you to record?
It's always available. And she likes to sleep. She likes to sleep on the couch.
Elsewhere.
Is she being your dog?
Elsewhere.
Yes, she being my dog. Yeah. No. Well, see, we record at 4 o'clock. So
Yeah.
Normally she's down chilling out,
2 o'clock
watching
in the
TV.
morning. Wouldn't matter. She's somewhere
No.
else. 3, 4, whatever. 7 in the morning.
Your dog
8.
like to watch on TV?
And my dog likes to watch squirrels.
Squirrel.
Okay.
Squirrels.
I mean, yeah, that's typical up there. Jason, I see your walls are blank, and I recall in an earlier show you were talking about the fact that you were going to get things framed and you were going to put them up. I think I see something framed behind you. Do I not?
No, there's nothing on my walls.
Okay.
And that's because I'm about to move. So
Oh, is that the reason? That's the reason it's been Spartan for years?
Well, no. Up here in front of me, I had a whole wall full of Simpsons
Where
figures.
people can't see it?
Yeah. Where people can't see it. I'm not.
Pimples.
Yeah,
Pimples
pimples.
can't see either. Yeah.
That's where all my pimples go.
Yeah,
Pumpernickel
I gotcha.
fuckheads.
Oh God.
Let me get the
Okay,
doll.
Jason, do we need to stop and talk how you're feeling, or have you gotten it off your chest as well?
No, the fuckheads helped. So,
Okay, so we don't have to talk about where on the Baby Yoda.
no, I don't want to subject Baby Yoda to the places that they touch me.
Okay,
I gotta go.
well,
No, on my walls in front of me, I had a bunch of stuff up. On the side over here, I had a bunch of stuff up. In fact, you could, whenever it was on a different frame over here on this wall, see a coffee poster.
Yeah, it was a coffee or a Coke poster at one point, wasn't it?
It was it was a coffee. Well, it wasn't a poster. It's actually made.
Are you sure it wasn't the polar bears, the Coca-Cola polar bears?
No, I'm not sure. It's just been in my office for years. But yeah, it said coffee. If you're not shaking, you need another cup. So
yeah, I've gone through withdrawal a few times. It's pretty nasty. So I'm slowly slipping into that decaf. I'm AARP age, so I got to start thinking about trying to sleep as much as I can at night. So James, I see
you don't look any older than Crowley.
No, in fact, I think I look older than you, which is fine. I'm okay with that.
Maybe, but I'm pretty sure if I had my beard on this year, it'd be all
where is
gray,
the beard?
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm disappointed too. Between the mask that I have to wear and the skin cancer examination I have to go to, they don't want me actually having a beard. So I'm without a beard again this year.
Oh.
So James, I do see in your room you have a bunch of stuff. I know that you are all in on the Baby Yoda.
I have too many.
Are you going to try to sell in this holiday season on eBay some of them?
Did you say buy? Yes.
Okay. That's what I figured. Between that and cigars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to discuss his hoarding problem.
This is not a hoarding problem. In fact, Hoarders, when you see an episode of Hoarders, there's just shit everywhere, right? Like you can't walk in the house, you can't walk in the apartment.
One room.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's all one room, man.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh my God.
So there's one, right? And then there by the waters there's another one. And then somewhere right there's another one. So, they're all
hoarded. You're right.
They're not hoarded. They're all nice and neat. They're put together in 3 winding doors.
Okay, just because they're organized doesn't mean it's not hoard.
No, that's exactly what it means. Hoarding is you just like watch an episode of Hoarders and show me an organized hoarder.
So
show me an
right
organized
here,
hoarder.
right here, up here in the top right.
If
Organized
schedule
hoarder.
the episode of Hoarders to come to your house, you'd be okay with that?
Oh yeah, they'd walk out. They'd be like, "There's nothing here. Let's go."
Well, we'll have to test that sometime.
Yeah, go for it. I'm all for it. Bring them in. I mean,
Okay,
they may say like there's an inordinate amount of baby
Hoarder.
Bless you.
Oh, sorry.
I mean, in this room alone, I've got
Need a drink of
1,
water.
5,
Whiskey. Yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know, probably about 12 to 15 Baby Yodas in here.
So this is your dedicated room in the house.
Yeah, this is different right now. This is the office. It's got all my podcasting equipment here on the right. It's got 3 winding doors, obviously. It's got a bunch of Star Wars and Star Trek stuff up top here in front of me where the pimples can't see, as Jason would say. Over there's a bunch of geek stuff, including a Baby Yoda portrait made out of cigar bands by Joyful Cigars, which I paid $250 for. Steal. Absolute steal. You can see a Baby Yoda there, a Baby Yoda there. I got some cigar stuff there.
You're not very good as a weatherman.
There. And there.
Why are you tickling it?
That's kind of what I was wondering.
I tickle everything.
It's a tickle
You want me
me
to show
Yoda.
you on the Baby Yoda where I tickle shit?
No.
Pumpernickel. Pumpernickel.
Pumpernickel.
So much pumpernickel.
Yeah. Right. So anyway, this is for right now. This is the space. It's probably, I don't know, 8 by 10, if that, probably closer to 8 by 8. When the garage gets rebuilt because of the derecho. Dorito.
We called it Derico when it hit us in Wisconsin last year.
You guys mispronounce shit all the time. When the garage gets rebuilt, the plan is to put in like a 10 by 12 office in there, where my cigars will go, where all my memorabilia will go, where the podcast equipment will go. I'll make a studio in there, and I'll put in a Rabbit Air, a couple of giant exhaust fans, and I'll smoke the shit out of my cigars in there.
So what is your wife going to put in that room?
Well, I don't give a fuck. Like, I will literally probably just live in the garage, and I'll be fine with it.
Okay, I bet a lot of people are looking forward to that.
Oh, you have no idea. I mean, I'm guessing my wife and daughter are first among them.
Yes.
What, putting you
So
in the
you
basement?
guys
Yeah.
are the host of Sadus, which is smoking and drinking in space.
Right.
And let's talk about the origins of it and what it is. So, Jason, it's a science fiction review podcast. I mean, how would you say what Sadus is?
Yeah, so it's a
It's a couple guys who think they know something.
yeah, it's a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. Thanks for the tagline,
God.
Rob. So
Oh my
no,
God.
it's a science fiction television show and movie review. Although we do more movies than television shows, just for logistics reasons. It's easier to get through a movie a week rather than a series. So we actually started
And yet
out-
we've been doing nothing but series this entire year.
no, that's not
It was
true.
the summer of sauce.
Oh,
We did
that's
movies
right.
For sauce.
That's
we
right.
did
But it was
movies
all Star
summer.
Trek. Yeah, that's true.
Okay, don't listen to the doorknob.
Never listen to the
Yeah,
doorknob.
Don't listen to the doorknob. No, so we actually started
Fuck
out with
you,
a
Jason.
television series. It was the reboot, the first
Not
season
your
of the
safe word.
reboot of
That's
Battlestar Galactica, and we started with that because that was actually the entire kind of origin and premise of smoking and drinking in space. So my previous co-host Red started this show with me. And the reason we started this show was actually going to be a webcomic at first. So it was going to be a screen capture webcomic that we were going to write because it seemed like current or modern day science fiction shows were all about brooding in dark spaceships and smoking and drinking and it was all very dramatic. There wasn't a ton of action in modern day sci-fi series for the most part. And so we were just going to make fun of that in a webcomic. And we decided that we really wanted to explore that on more of a show type basis. So we decided to go with the podcast route and explore, the different, I guess the different tropes and the ways that science fiction is portrayed in sci-fi movies and series, and then it just kind of turned into us, trying to make fun of movies and exploring them in more of a comedic fashion. So,
And Red was with the show for about 50 episodes or so, and there was a nice remembrance to Red in about episode 52, I believe it was,
52.
where you had a bunch of people come on and talk about Red and what he meant to them and to the show. So for anybody that has not listened to episode 52, that's great. And by the way, Red is still available on the podcast every week because he is the one, for those that are new to Sadist, that might
Yeah,
not
it's
know
true.
this,
Yeah.
he is the one that does the voiceover for the pod crawl. And that was something that you guys recorded, I don't know, episode 20, 25, something like that.
No, it was before that. So we started.
It was just a random thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
He just
we
went off on it.
We
Yeah.
started the pod crawl around, I want to say episode 6, but it started out as me basically just reading quick one-liners to things that happened in the show. Around episode 8, I think, is when we actually came up with the intro, the pod crawl intro. And then I think it was around episode 20 or so. It may have been a little sooner than that, is when I started digitizing the actual pod crawl synopsis.
So you guys get to hear Red every week talk about the pod crawl and all his glory.
Space depository full of
Full of
information.
Yeah.
So Rob, you came to the show later though.
Yeah. So I don't quote me. I don't know. I know the first one that I had to review. So this all started because my oldest kid did leadership stuff through Boy Scouts down near where Jason lived. So what I would, and it would be like weekend development things. So I would drop them off, and then I'd go hang out with Jason for the weekend, and then pick up my kid and take them back afterwards. So it made a perfect like, hey, let's hang out and chill. Normally it was binge watch Game of Thrones or Westworld. There was another one that we ended up doing, but can't remember
what that was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuddling, a lot of spooning.
A lot of cuddling, a lot of spooning. Because prior to this, him and I, we've been friends forever. Used to play video games back when I was in high school. I think he had just gotten out of high school or had just graduated from college.
So you're saying Jason was robbing the cradle? Is that what
He
you're
was,
saying?
yeah.
This just got weird.
Yeah, so I need the touch me doll real quick. No, just
No.
no. So we've been friends for forever, and then anyway, and he lived with me for almost a year while he was working up north. North being Fort Worth. Anyway, so we were just hanging out on the weekends, and then he started this the podcast, and he said, "Hey, Red and I need to record something. You want to be part of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. I'll guest host. I'll be a guest on the thing." So I popped my podcasting cherry on The Arrival.
The Arrival, not Arrival. The Arrival.
Yeah, it was
The Arrival.
Charlie Sheen.
Yeah,
And
that
it's been
was
downhill ever since.
Oh man. Yeah, that was bad. That was a bad one to. I mean, I'd listened to the stuff that they had done before, off and on. Not as much because I would for the first stuff, because it was all Battlestar Galactica, and I wasn't a big fan of the original stuff until I was forced to watch it. Kind of like Metropolis. Yeah, we won't get into that one either. Anyway, so yeah, I did a couple.
Metropolis.
No, yes, please.
Yeah.
We don't have enough time. You can check out the episode and see what James and I thought about that. But we got around that time, I did two. So I did Space Cowboys, or no, Cowboys and Aliens.
Yeah.
And because they ended up doing a double header while I was down there. And anytime I was down there, I would just be a guest on it. And then by that, right around that time, that's when Red got sick. And so Jason asked me to jump in as a filler to help out, and then I never left.
Are you regretting that decision?
I am.
Some days
wait, what?
I do, yeah. But no, it's fun. It's entertaining. It's something to do.
So James,
With
I've
my
always
bud.
been wondering this. So you came on after Rob, of course, and I was wondering, what blackmail do you hold over Jason that he allowed you to come on the show?
Right? No shit. I'm not really sure why I'm on the show, to be 100% honest with everybody. Now, nobody say anything to Rob. But what Jason told me, on the sly, was that he needed a better class of podcaster and just honestly a better class of friend. And he needed some podcast gold.
So
and I said,
why did he
"Look,
choose you?
that's all I fucking mind, man, is podcast gold. Let's go. Let's do this." And I've been trying to, get him to ditch Rob ever since, but he won't. That blind loyalty or something. I don't know.
I give good cuddles.
That's right.
I know that there was that one time where you guys tried to record without him, but he found you on Discord.
That's the most disappointing day of my life.
I know.
Yeah.
Of my life. I
Yeah.
was so excited to finally record an episode of Satis sans Rob. And instead, he comes in at the very last second, right before the pod call, and he's like, "I just got done taking a week-long dump. I got news." And it's like, fuck, really, man? I was this saddest day of my life. Tears. You couldn't see it because we don't do the recording thing, the video thing. Tears.
From the listener perspective, I can say that moment actually saved that episode.
Oh,
That is not true. It's patently false.
Thank you.
Patently false.
High
SP,
five. High five. there.
I've always thought you to be a knowledge and learned man. Learned, I believe, is the you're not. Now you have just
Senile, maybe is the correct term, because I am ARP age. But to get back to how Rob started podcasting, that's actually how I started podcasting, was to record with somebody else in the same room. We actually had a group of 4 or 5 in the same room. I miss those days all the time. I do it as often as I can, but my co-hosts are not in the same state, let alone in the same city. So it's few and far between that happens.
that's
And
how I started too, man.
I was gonna
And
say,
us
James-
recording in the same room. It's weird because
Well,
we
it
stare
can
at each
be.
other.
Yeah,
No, it's really creepy
stop making it awkward
for
Rob.
others, not for me and Jason. It's magical for me and Jason.
Jesus Christ.
Emily Van Camp. Emily Van Camp. Emily.
Pumpernickel.
Okay, so you guys obviously bring a lot of entertainment value, and Jason, you mentioned that you were trying to approach the subjects with a lot more comedy. Let's talk about the creation of the segments in the show and how you guys have evolved that over time. I mean, Rob, obviously you do the news, and it sounds like they try to constrain you to 3 news items per week.
No, I constrain myself to that.
Oh, he's pooping.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the news, it first started like everybody had news and it'd go forever. So Jason's like, tell you what, Rob, you come up with news, do 3 or 4, 10 minutes or so. Normally we're pretty good at that until Crowley jumps in and
It's always my fault.
yeah, he jumps in with something else or goes off on a tangent on something.
I'm the one that didn't do any research for any of the news that I read while taking a dump all week. That's all on me.
I'm just saying, if you just let it
100%.
go, we could bam,
right.
get to the
Okay.
meat, right? Get
Yeah,
to the
no,
meat of
I
the show.
I just shut the fuck up and let you do your thing.
You should. You
No.
really should.
I would, but again, I was asked to mine podcast gold from this fucking empty mine that is called status.
Wow.
Well, Rob-
so not only are you dissing me, but you're also dissing Jason.
You
That-
are the
that
reason it's been
hurts.
stripped clean.
And again, there's some blackmail information there. So.
Yeah.
There's got to be. So, Rob, what I want to tell you, though, is I really enjoy the news segments. It's often the same sort of stuff that I talk over on the Gonna Geek show, by the way. So if you ever want to get away from these guys and do a space-specific, like outer space-specific podcast, just you and me, just let me know. Call me.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Hold on. Yeah, but he also just said call me, so I'm confused on whether or not I should call him or do a restraining order.
Go now. Go. Gonna Geek needs you. They need you. Go.
Every time somebody says call me, we have to get another restraining order.
Oh,
Bye, Rob.
true.
It's
Bye,
true.
Felicia.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Well, that's whenever James says call me.
Only when it's James. Okay.
I didn't hear
In
him. I
addition
didn't hear
to
him go.
Call me and automatically, get a restraining
Start saying
order.
no. Yeah.
It just goes with the HR
I
department
start-
when I'm on the payroll.
I start writing it down, time stamped and everything, just in case.
Yeah, and I know there's Christina Hendricks and Jerry Ryan, and I know there's like 2 others now.
There's Gina Gershon.
Okay.
Yeah. What was the other one?
Gina Carano.
I mean, if you don't have evidence,
Yeah, Gina Carano.
There's like 100 episodes of
there's like
evidence, James.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit more about James' area here. So he has a segment called More Sci-Fi Than 11/22/63.
Right.
And
You got the date
that's
right. Good job.
Not
More
a
than what
very
Rob usually
high. It's not a very high bar. And by the way, thank you for covering that series, by the way, because I have decided never to watch it after you guys.
We watch shit shows, so you don't have to.
that's right. You're welcome.
So thank you
You're
very much on that. So it's not a very high bar. So it's not very subjective. It's like most everything else you cover, with the exception of 2, I believe, since you started this segment, is more sci-fi than 11/22/63. So I would just urge you perhaps to change that to something else that could higher the bar so it makes it a little bit more discriminatory.
Well, see, here's the problem with that is that 11/22/63 is not sci-fi. It is historical.
Sci-fi.
It's historical fantasy. It's literally
fiction.
It is literally The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe meet JFK. That's all it is. That's it. It's if The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe were set in the 60s. That's it. So
if The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe were set in the 60s and somebody from present day went back in time to The Lion and the Witch and the Wardrobe, that would be considered sci-fi. It's time travel.
This is why I record in my bedroom, because normally at this time I just go over there and lay down.
It's not sci-fi. He has this cover shit that's not sci-fi, i.e. 11/22/63, i.e. fucking Metropolis. Like, there's shit that is not, like, even Face Off. It's not really sci-fi. It's just a fucking action adventure movie.
So something that I've never heard in your podcast, though, is what the definition of science fiction is.
It's
because
literally whatever Jason fucking wants it to be that week. That's it. That is the definition of sci-fi.
Because here's his criteria. No, here's his criteria. He looks on IMDb. If IMDb says sci-fi, we do it. If it doesn't say sci-fi, we go and we check Wikipedia. If Wikipedia doesn't say it's sci-fi, Jason changes it real quick to say sci-fi.
Sci-fi. Yep, that's exactly it. Here's the thing. So there's right now there's a movie on Netflix that I watched the other night called Project Power. And it's all about drugs. It's science fiction. They make a drug that gives you superpowers for 5 minutes. Great movie. I want to put it on the list. Jason says
it's superhero, not sci-fi.
No, I did not say not sci-fi.
We don't. I'm sorry. We don't cover superheroes.
So when we started the show, when Red and I started the show, we said we did not want to do superhero movies because they have been done to death.
You also said that about Star Trek, and yet we had the summer of Star Trek. And then you said the same thing about Star Wars, and here we are. So, look. At some point, man, you're gonna have to bend.
You know what? We put it to the listeners. Do you guys want to see superhero movies and shows on the great big list of sci-fi titles? How many people have said that they want to see that? How many?
How many listeners?
How many people? Answer the question. How many people have said?
I'll answer it with this simple rhetorical question. How many times have I asked the listeners to start a write-in petition to get rid of Rob, and how many have started one? Zero. The answer is zero to both questions. Zero.
No, there's 500 or 600, but I keep taking them down.
You just got to give the fans what they want.
They don't.
They want me to host.
No, haven't had anybody write in to say we want Rob to host yet either.
I would enjoy hearing Rob host. Yeah. I mean, he did an okay job with your fight between Picard and
yeah, there wasn't much I could do there. It was just letting the monkeys run free.
Yeah. Well, it was a fun thing to do. So I always got confused, especially when you said Star Wars was more sci-fi than 11/22/63, because I've always heard that Star Wars is science fantasy.
Well, science fantasy is just kind of a cross genre between sci-fi and fantasy, right? So, I mean, science fiction, the science fiction genre is a huge umbrella genre. There's a lot of subgenres that fall underneath science fiction. There's a lot of crossover to other genres. Like there's the weird Western, there's space Westerns, there's science fantasy, there's space opera, which is kind of a conglomeration of science fiction and fantasy.
Sci-fi parody porn.
There's
I was just going to say, I'm surprised that you haven't brought up sci-fi erotica, because I know that Rob is
we had
in that area.
We had an entire episode where James and I started listing sci-fi erotica.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was the best episode ever because it pissed Jason off.
There's a lot of those, actually. There's a lot of moments in Satis that are literally just some of the best ever. Just because Jason gets so mad.
He gets a little flustered.
Yeah, he gets flustered. He doesn't know what to say. He starts flubbing fucking shit at the end. It's the greatest thing ever.
Mm.
I live for those moments, to be honest.
He always seems to leave out the ones where he messes up the intro or he messes up the outro. Yeah, he leaves those out of the bloopers.
Being the editor must be nice.
It must be nice. That's all I'm saying.
But everybody else you can make sound like an idiot.
I'm guessing that neither of you two have volunteered to edit.
I
hell
edit. No, I do
Hell
a shit
no.
ton of editing for other shit. I'm not doing no.
I don't have the time. I have a job.
I don't
Or
trust
skills.
Rob to tie his
Skills.
shoes, much less.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Rob.
Dude, I can
my shoe
Velcro my shoes just fine.
That makes sense.
I was going to
That's
say, Rob strikes me as a guy that has a lot of loafers and Velcro shoes.
Yep.
No loafers.
Boots?
Nope, don't wear cowboy boots.
So you just walk around in slippers
You know,
and
there
Velcro
are other
shoes.
types of boots than cowboy boots, right?
Not where I'm from. This is Texas.
See,
Yeah,
where
sounds-
Why
high
don't you get the
heels?
fuck out of my
Sounds-
state?
Yeah, it sounds like you've been
Yes,
there for
I
a long
do.
time, Rob.
High heels.
That's not a
Let's-
that's not a Texas accent.
It wasn't supposed to be.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you knew
Just
that.
Just like your Scotty pirate accent that you were doing, James.
I look, that was Scotty. That was Pirate Scotty. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Pirate Scotty was a real person. He comes here every once in a while. He hangs out for a little bit. He watched me podcast. He wanted to be a pirate show. That was it. Same with Frank. Frank.
I haven't heard Frank on the show in quite some time.
I think the Rona got Frank. I think the Rona, unfortunately,
R.I.P. Frank.
Rona. No. A woman named Rona from a diner. She took him. I think that they're in the Philippines somewhere hanging out. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
So what you're saying is eventually Frank might come back with a Asian accent?
I wouldn't be racist, but it's possible. Yeah.
Well, because
So
you know,
Rob-
after you live somewhere for a while, you start picking up that accent.
Isn't your wife Asian?
She is.
Do you have an Asian accent, dumbass?
No, because she was born in America and she doesn't have an Asian accent.
Does she have a
When did
Texas
Rob
accent?
get married?
She actually does.
Wait. Does she have a Southern accent?
No, it's not Southern, but it's not Asian. Until she starts speaking Vietnamese to her mom, and then it just sounds like
And then
yelling.
Well, that's
Because
racist.
apparently, no, it's serious.
Yeah.
Seriously, she will talk in a normal voice like to me in English, and then immediately start talking to her mom, and it goes up about 20 decibels.
Yeah. Okay.
It
'Cause
must be
apparently-
something with. I don't want to be racist, but it must be something with the culture because my best friend in
It
high
is.
school
I think it is,
was
yeah.
from Vietnam, and I went over to his house, and his mom and his sister did the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
but everything was fine.
yeah, they're really, yeah. They just they talk really loud at each other, and I tune most of it out because I don't understand it, and then all of a sudden Jan will be like, Rob, I'm like, what? And he goes, Mom's asking you something. I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't know. I didn't know she switched
I
over
don't
to
speak language. Have you told her that
Well, no,
yet? Or
she
No, he doesn't
switches
speak
over.
English either.
She
Oh,
switches
shit.
over to broken English, and it mixes in with the Vietnamese, so I don't pay attention.
When was it proven that Rob
Yeah, that
can
sounds-
understand English?
Sounds
Last week,
No.
I know sit, stay, and good boy.
Okay.
So basically,
Still
they
working
talk
on
to you like
rollover.
a dog.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
How
Did
does
you say
that
tweet?
translate into your haikus that you write? If that's all you understand.
They're just no, I understand quite a bit. The haikus are just it's like it's just epiphanies. They just come to me.
Could you spell epiphany?
It starts with a E and ends with epiphany.
So,
There you go.
Jason, there are several awards that you give out on each episode, and they've been pretty static for quite some time. Matter of fact, you have go-tos when you can't find anybody for it. So, have you ever thought about changing around any of them, like the Black Lung or Lush or?
He does
Purple?
occasionally. Sometimes he'll do the head lush before he does black lung.
Not the
He
order.
likes to
you
mix it.
doorknob. He's
He likes to
talking
mix
about
it up a
actually
little bit.
Switching the
Oh my
awards.
god, you're such a fucking idiot.
You do realize I knew that. I did that on purpose.
No, you didn't.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
think
no, I
you
did.
No,
No, I really did.
This is what happens on the show. You fuck shit up constantly, and you play it
On
off like,
purpose.
I
Dude,
meant to do
podcast.
that. And then I
Podcast
can
gold.
hear your wife in the background literally shaking her fucking head. In
Wow.
disappointment.
That's
In
impressive.
abject disappointment. That's what I
Fuck
hear.
you, Crowley.
No, so we started the awards shortly after the show started as just kind of a way to highlight some specific parts of the show that we're reviewing, or just to it started out with the smoking and the Head Lush and the Black Lung Awards, because it's smoking and drinking in space. Since we were doing Battlestar Galactica, it's a very sexy series, right? There's a lot of sex in
Doc
the
Coddle.
series.
Yeah, very sexy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Doc Coddle, he smokes like a freaking chimney. So
No. SP is saying Doc Coddle is hot.
yeah, that's why he's hot. He smokes like a chimney. It's so sexy.
Oh, you like it because he's okay. I got you. I just thought you just liked the
See,
way
this
he
is
looked.
another thing that we have to do sometimes, is explain a joke to Rob.
Sometimes, most of the time. Even knock jokes.
I'm
We have to,
guessing
break it down.
A lot of that doesn't make it into the final cut. I'm just guessing.
Pumpernickel, whatever the fuck your safe word is.
Emily Van Camp.
There it is, Emily Van Camp.
No, so we decided to come up with a player award, which Imaginary 6 got a lot during the initial run of Battlestar Galactica. And then later on, we came up with the player award,
Purple Hippo.
or the Purple Hippo Award. Thank you.
Yeah.
And there's actually a story behind that. We explained that whenever we came up with the Purple Hippo Award.
I think you came up with that like when I first did one, didn't you? You had just started it.
Yeah, we had just started it. It was towards the end run of the Battlestar Galactica, because Baltar was, imagining 6, and so we came up with the Purple Hippo Award. But we called it the Purple Hippo Award because it involved a hallucination that I had one night of a purple hippo head singing "You Got to Keep Them Separated." So there's a whole story behind that.
Were you tripping balls?
No, I wasn't tripping balls. I was sleep deprived and caffeine paranoid, and there was a meteor that had burst in the atmosphere while I was driving late one night on a really dark road. And so
what? This was April 2020.
It might have been. And so it left an after image in my vision. So while I'm driving down the road, I'm listening to the radio, and
The Offspring, got to keep them separated.
The Offspring was playing, and then that after image started morphed into a purple hippo head singing "You Got to Keep Them Separated." Yeah.
Like, did you stop while you were on the? Like, now I have questions about this. I'm sorry, SP. Like, did you stop? Did you watch the hippo, or were you watching the hippo while you were driving?
Watching the hippo, going, "Wow, I'm really fucking tired," as I was driving down the road. Yeah.
Okay.
What if it was real?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. What if?
I
what
don't
if
think I was that far gone to think that it was real, but
aliens?
So now I'm worried about your safety when you're driving. I mean, if you're driving when you're seeing things, then
this was
You
a long
shouldn't worry
time
about
ago.
his safety. Don't worry about his safety. You worry about the safety of everybody else while he's
There's
driving.
nobody else on the road.
Were you going to Rob's house by chance?
No,
Yeah.
no, I was going home.
I'm sensing
Which
this
is my
part
house.
of the blackmail that probably has over you.
I
Might
don't
be.
have. Like, why am I here? I could just leave. I don't have any blackmail. God
We've
damn it!
been waiting for you to leave.
Oh, Rob, trust me. Trust me, my boy.
Let's talk about the creative process behind Sadis. When you guys want to bring something new, exciting into the show, or maybe change things up, how do you guys discuss it?
Jason just usually says no, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
You fucking suck. I don't.
A lot of times. A lot of times, yeah. I mean, I've asked numerous times, hey, you should let us each host, and he says no.
Yeah, no, I don't want that either, because that would mean that Rob would have to host as well. Like, I'm okay. Like, if Jason's ever like, hey, here are the keys to the car, like, fine, you'll get it back, and in fact, it'll probably be a brand new car. Have some
'Cause you wrecked the other one?
on it or whatever. But Rob, God only knows what you're going to get back. It's going to be dented and fucking
Pinto.
rusted and like
Pinto.
yeah, exactly. So I get it. That's why I don't
Either
have
that or a dumpster on fire. I don't know which.
6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
No, so
Yeah,
typically they'll ask, "Can I host?" and I'll say no. But that's
I
really
don't ever ask that.
That's really the
don't
only
ask
thing
that.
that I've ever said no on. So
That is
well,
not
that in-
well. Let's
that
back.
in movies.
Yeah, let's back that up for just a second. All right, I'd like to re-examine that. For if we could just circle back to that right now. We have asked on multiple occasions the callback. This is what they call it in the biz, Rob, is a callback.
It is.
Just
It is.
literally minutes ago when I said, "Hey, let's do superhero shit," and you said,
no.
No.
"Okay,
I
well,
said,
there you
really,
go."
That
that's
is how-
the only time. There was another time where you said, "I want to do superhero movies," and I said no. But I didn't even say no at that point. I said, "Let's put it up to the listeners," and the listeners said no. So really, it's
The
not even me.
listeners said nothing. The listeners said nothing. They didn't. They don't care one way or the other. They'll listen to us because we're entertaining. They listen to Rob because they have to get Rob when they get us being entertaining. So I mean, that's neither here nor, but that's
No,
why they
that-
listen, be entertained. Wouldn't matter if we were. They listened to us when we fucking did Metropolis, for fucking crying out loud.
Which
I mean,
was
Well,
the
we
great
actually
movie.
lost
Yeah.
viewers. We lost viewers
Yeah.
on that one.
Great
I looked at the
movie.
numbers.
No, it's terrible. It's
We
terrible.
lost viewers, Rob.
Objectively bad.
Yeah, we did. I
People
looked
were
at the
viewing
numbers.
us when we were
No.
doing Metropolis.
No,
Okay, we lost listeners. Sorry.
No.
We lost listeners. Our numbers tanked right
I don't.
after that.
I don't
they
think
didn't.
that's accurate. No, they didn't. And so, look, if we could do
Charlie,
shitty
you're not
movies like that,
helping here.
and 1120 look, shut the fuck up, Rob. I know what I'm doing. And 11/22/63, if we could do shit like that, we could do superhero movies and be fine.
I'm
In
on
fact,
board.
it'd
Let's put
probably
boys on the
help our
list.
shit. Put what?
The boys. Let's put
Yeah,
the boys on the
I
list.
want the boys on the list. I want Project Power on this. We don't got to fucking
That-
do the
no,
MCU.
see, the boys is not superhero.
It's not.
That was done because of some sort of medical thing done to kids.
Racism is the reason it
No.
was done. Was
Well,
racism.
right, great. But it was some sort of medical procedure was done to kids.
And
Okay, but
what,
then-
what happened
or
to the
whatever it was.
kids that was after the medical procedure was done to them? What did they
They
turn
became
into?
They became superheroes,
There
but
you
that's
go.
fine. Or no, actually,
Not all
sorry.
of them.
Go.
Let's rephrase
Not
that.
all of
Let's
them.
rephrase that.
No,
They
some of
became
them
dicks.
Turned into
They became dicks.
villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was
No.
a medical procedure. It's not any different than Charlie. And you
Yeah.
say Charlie is
Yeah.
sci-fi.
Yeah, Charlie was about as sci-fi as my balls. It wasn't not sci-fi.
My left hand.
right there.
My left hand.
So they
So
have
you
a
might say
very-
your balls might be sci-fi.
I mean, I can prove it, but I think YouTube would take it down.
They
I'm
have a
pretty sure
very
they
narrow view of sci-fi.
Yeah, who?
You and Rob.
Fuck
You-
you! You're the one that's like, no superheroes.
I didn't say it wasn't sci-fi.
But you said we couldn't do it,
Yeah,
and we
so-
cover
so
sci-fi.
And we are a couple of guys that do a show about sci-fi.
Couple of guys. A couple
Rob.
of guys.
We are a couple
Couple.
of guys in Raw
Couple of
that
guys.
do a show about sci-fi. I don't understand why we can't do sci-fi superheroes.
Anyways,
I
to
just don't
get
get it.
back to your question. See, this is what I have to deal with is
Oh, yeah.
keeping the train on the tracks. Getting back to your question, no. So typically, somebody will come up with an idea for the show. We'll discuss, how best to work the segment into the show and what that segment's going to entail. That's basically it.
So like the Mandalorian head count, that was something that Rob discussed with you while you were distracted, and you said okay, not knowing
Yeah,
what it was.
yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, he wasn't distracted. It was right after we finished playing Squadrons and we were getting off, and I said, "Hey, we should do the kill count for the Mando." And he goes, "Yeah, all right, take care of it." I said, "Okay." And then he forgot that he assigned it to me.
I think that, I think
Like
I
a
said
good
a few more
host.
things like that. I think I asked him, so are you going to do a total kill count or per episode? And he said both. I said, yeah, that
Yeah.
would probably work pretty well for the Mandalorian.
Sounds like
series.
typical writer's room.
Shit, I
just
gotta
epiphanies.
do the kill count for this next one.
But I did
Oh,
Okay,
actually
fun.
forget that I told him
I'm gonna
that
work on that real
we
quick.
were going to put that segment in. So that's actually true.
Yeah, he did.
I've
He
got
forgot.
a
It
lot
was-
of shit going on right now, and so I'm kind of scatterbrained at the moment.
That's a good segue, because I was going to mention for the listeners that want to know more about you personally, what is one key interest that you might have outside of sci-fi, outside of podcasting, outside of your podcasting interests that you would want the listener to know? Like James, for instance, I know you picked up fishing recently. Would that be something that you'd be comfortable talking about?
He doesn't fish anymore.
Yeah, no fishing. I fish. I have firearms. I like to go to the range. I like to fish. Music. I play the bass guitar. I sing, or I used to sing. I don't know.
You play
That's
the
about it.
trombone like Riker?
No.
Okay.
Sorry, not nearly as sexy. I was a bassist, so I never got laid. Because that's
Slap
what
of the
bassists
bass
do.
on.
But at least wasn't a drummer and just randomly, catch fire. That's a Spinal Trap reference.
So, Rob, I think you cook, but since you're starting a new show, Rob of Cooking, we can't really talk about that. So, what's another interest that you might have?
Started Rob with cooking.
Porn.
It's cooking with
a
Rob.
doorknob.
Rob.
Yeah,
Rob.
what?
Porn.
Yeah.
Porn.
Thanks. Appreciate that.
It's like
Everybody
most
kind of
guys
knows that.
right there. Yeah.
So apparently.
Oh no, not like most guys. Right? No, he's got terabytes upon terabytes upon
yeah.
terabytes.
Apparently, I run Pornhub. Shh. Don't tell anybody that.
I mean, it's got a
It's
good porn, so
lucrative.
it's not Pornhub.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
hence his bed.
Let's take care of some business there. Now, I do woodworking. I also have a laser. And like
so you burn wood?
I burn wood. I also burn tile. James, you want to do the honors? I'm sure it's like right there, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
He keeps
No,
it
is.
close to himself.
And I cleaned it recently, so it's all good.
Oh,
So
nice.
Christina Hendricks and all her glory.
Stop
There.
rubbing her breasts.
Emily Van Camp.
I-
Van Camp.
Yeah. So yeah, I laser stuff, and I made the guys some Christmas ornaments also.
Didn't you
a
laser
light
this
thing.
as well?
Yeah, the little light thing. Oh no, the cigar thing. Yeah. So
Yeah, the ashtray.
yes, Stargate. No, not Stargate. Star Lord made
Lots of
those,
stars.
right?
Lots of stars. Yeah.
Yeah. Star Lord made those for Jason to give out as a Christmas present to us, but he sent them over to me to laser the blanks. I actually have. Hold on.
Yeah, I'd stand up and get it, but I don't care. There's he did like a laser, it's like a light thing that has Satis on it, has the logo, and it lights up. And
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Nice.
yeah. So Rob's actually really talented outside of podcasting, which is
Yes.
why I'm so surprised that he does podcasting.
Well, I do podcasting to keep myself humble.
Well, does it work?
Well, I,
mean,
don't want
it's
to brag
good.
or anything.
Yeah,
but,
well,
He's
it's
100 times more humble than you are.
Well, no shit.
That's-
Everybody's 100 times more humble than I am.
yeah.
Well, Jason, aside from moving, what is another hobby that you might have?
So
He likes to move every 6 months.
no, I don't. In fact, I've been here for a year, and given my preference, I wouldn't be moving. But before that, it was 6 years before I had moved. So, or 7 years. But anyways, so I'm a huge Simpsons fan, and I've got like I said, a bunch of Simpsons collectibles that people have given me over the years and decades.
Hoarder. Sorry, I forgot to mute the mic.
We're not talking about James.
Hey, did you play that
You know-
stupid Simpsons cell phone game today?
Yeah, I did.
God, you're terrible. You're just terrible. You're terrible.
He
Have
was
you
doing it right
seen-
before the game. Right before our podcast.
Yep,
Jason, have
every
you
day.
seen all the Simpsons episodes? Every single one of them?
No, I haven't kept up with this season's episodes, so I probably need to catch up on those. I'll probably catch up on those after the season ends. I'll jump on. Well, now it's Disney Plus. I'll jump on Disney Plus and catch up on those. So
He likes to take his Simpsons mainlined, just IV all at once.
I've been busy. I mean, there's a ton of shit that I haven't watched. In fact, I didn't catch up on Archer until this past week, so I was like 3 episodes behind on Archer.
Have you seen them all now?
Yep. I wasn't real
interesting
fond on
way-
how the season ended, but
It was like, I think I don't know if coronavirus had anything to do with it or not. It's just like ended without a punctuation to the season. I was very grateful to see that they're going to have another season of Archer.
Yeah,
it's
me too.
hilarious. So you guys are, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, you're the brain trust of CBC as well, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's a stretch.
Right.
Well, I mean, Rob's
Go
HR,
ahead.
right?
That's because they had to give me something. HR and IT. Actually, what it was is it went, who wants to be HR? And everybody said, not it. And I was the last one.
Yeah.
So
Actually, what it was we gave him positions that had 2 letters because 3 letters was too much for him to remember.
mhm.
One too many. One too many.
I see.
Almost
So-
too many.
When he thinks of Sadis, it's just Sa.
Sa, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
What?
why he made the shirt.
It isn't
he
just
could
Sa?
remember.
What am I supposed to do today? Oh shit, that's right.
Well, that's also why my avatar in Discord says I am Satis. It's to remind myself how
On
to
the
spell
back.
Satis.
On the back of his shirt is the day he's supposed to wear it, which then reminds him, oh shit, it's Sunday. I got something to do today.
And it's really hard to read because I wrote it left-handed. Go figure.
So Creative Brain Candy is not just Sadis.
Right.
It's not just podcasting. So
Right.
what is Creative Brain Candy?
So Creative Brain Candy is a media cooperative that we formed to kind of help people either break into a form of media that they've never tried before, or to get better at a form of media that they're currently working on. And it's also to help us grow our knowledge and experience in other forms of media, and to help kind of cross promote creators from various genres of media creation, from podcasting to writing to music, visual arts, video. We have a Twitch streamer, so any kind of creative media is welcome at Creative Brain Candy.
And if somebody's interested in finding out more information, how would they do that?
CreativeBrainCandy.com. There is an apply button up there, or you can jump on our Discord. The link to our Discord is on CreativeBrainCandy.com too, and just reach out.
All right. Well, since we're coming up on an hour, I wasn't given a time length, but I'm assuming about an hour is kind of what you guys were focusing on for this.
It doesn't matter. However long.
Hour and a half, 4 hours. It's fine.
I did
Rob,
watch it.
there's not anything in your life you've ever done for 4 hours.
Yeah, you're right, because eventually I start forming calluses.
It's starting to chafe.
There's
Pumpernickel.
more lotion.
Well, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about in terms of smoking and drinking in space? Because this is your brain storm on smoking and drinking in space. Jason, what do you got? Anything else you want to make sure everybody knows about?
Man, no, I don't know. I think we've covered it all. We love it whenever people that listen reach out to us, give us feedback, good, bad, indifferent. It helps us shape the show. It helps us improve.
It might take us a couple episodes to acknowledge that feedback because Jason forgets, but we do read it.
Also, I've heard time travel is involved in your show quite a bit.
Yes.
Well, have a good night, everybody.
Well, Rob
Well,
wishes time travel was involved in the show.
Yeah, he does.
There was a lot of time travel involved back when we covered Star Wars from beginning to end, because we did a lot of jumping around, recording the episodes and trying to keep straight. Hey, wait, what have we recorded again? Can we reference? No, we can't reference that because it
Nobody
hasn't
cares
come
how
out yet.
Look, Rob, do you go to the butcher and ask, hey, can I see how you make the sausage?
Actually, I do, because I like to know the quality of meat that
Because you're a
I'm
fucking doorknob.
producing.
Nobody cares how the sausage is made. Nobody cares.
SP, do you care about how the sausage is made?
I would think that people listening to this episode or watching this episode would care how the sausage is made.
This is the whole point of Brainstorm, is to learn about sausage that happens on CBC.
This is to learn about CBC sausage, you say?
Yes.
Emily Van
CBC
Camp.
sausage.
Emily Van Camp. Emily Van Camp.
Just how large is this CBC sausage, Rob?
No.
Well-
SP killed it. He safe worded this. We're moving on.
No,
I don't want to
I
hear
don't-
about
no.
Rob's CBC sausage.
I want to know, damn it.
Well, after the show, you and Rob can talk extensively.
I don't talk to Rob after the show. When the show's done, like you want, I don't talk to Rob. He never reaches
Jane-
out. He never says, "Hey, you want to hang out?" I'm like, no, he doesn't do that. So I don't reach out to him. Fuck Rob.
James, if there is one thing that you would want the listener of Sadist to know, what would you want them to know?
I apologize for Rob. Just like in perpetuity, that would be the one thing. But if there were two things, I just want to say thanks to all the listeners. Like, there's been a lot of change from where this show started. I mean, it started with just Jason and Red, and they made it theirs. And so when myself and Rob came on, it was very hard for us to find our footing, so to speak, to make it ours, because we didn't want to be disrespectful to what Red had done before us,
Especially where we came in and why we came in.
and why we came. Yeah, so
it wasn't like Red said, "I'm done,"
right,
which made
it's
it
not,
hard.
Yeah, I still, like, it's hard for me to talk about this because every day I wake up, I ask God for three things. I say, please let me keep my penis. Please let Rob leave status.
Not everybody has the number one. I mean, you guys covered The Fly. I mean, there's an example of that.
Right. So, like, let me keep my penis. Let Rob leave status. And thank you for my penis. Like, those are the three things. And it's hard for me to talk about. Like, if that were to ever happen where Rob leaves, oh, God, please. Jesus, sweet baby Jesus, make that happen. If that were to ever happen, it would be easy to bring somebody in. But because of the circumstances we came into, it was difficult. We wanted to be super respectful of that. And I hope we have been. I hope we've done it the right way, because this isn't a common thing. Like, I've been podcasting for almost 13 years now. 2007, I think, is when I started. Like, this has happened before on other podcasts, but I think it's like very, very rare. So it was such a weird transition and a weird way to bring in new hosts and kind of have to, like, redo the show. Cause I'm not Red. I mean, I'm cranky and I'm old, but I'm not Red. And Rob
you don't have the right hair for that. No.
Right.
So,
I'm the closest to Red. I've got red hair, but I'm not cranky and old.
Yeah, and because these two knew Red personally, like, they were friends and they'd known him for, forever. It was difficult because I'm like the odd man out, right? Like you said, like, I've got to have some kind of blackmail to be on the show. I don't know why I'm here. I honestly don't. I'm grateful to be here. I'm thankful that Jason brought me on. I'm thankful that Jason keeps me around. I'm thankful that Jason brought me in. I was like, hey, let's do this. Let's do this network thing. And so I'm thankful for that. I think we've got something special here in CBC. I think we've got something special here in Status. So I just want to know, I want to let the listeners, the viewers right now know that, I'm thankful to be here. I am humble that you guys tune in as often as you do to listen to the bullshit that comes out of my mouth, to listen to the nonsense that comes out of Rob's, and to listen to Jason sigh a lot as he has to deal with both of us. So I'm thankful for that. I appreciate all of you. And hopefully when they're done talking about The Mandalorian season 2, I'll be back.
You're gonna be there. You don't get to get out of this.
God damn it!
You got out of Star Trek.
I
for
didn't
one
get out
episode.
of shit.
Yeah, we
because of the fucking
postponed
Ray
for
show.
an entire week.
Yeah, you
because
guys were like, "Oh, fucking shit fell on your house. Don't give a fuck. You get to watch a shitty ass movie with all of us."
Yeah,
you guys are assholes. I don't want to be here anymore. I take back every nice thing I just fucking said. Well,
which is weird because it all was nice to Jason. None of it was nice to me.
Again, sweet dear baby Jesus, if you could just let Rob leave the show, go to Gonna Geek, go somewhere, porn, podcast.com, whatever.
Fuck you, Crowley.
Just to let you know, Rob, I do have an in somewhere that you might fit in there.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Is it my turn now?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna say, hey, this has been fun, and I like what listeners we have, and hope we get more listeners and current listeners tell other people about it. It's been I started this back in October, November, Jason, I think is when it was a regular thing.
No, that
was it longer than that?
Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah. October, November was it was last spring.
Yeah, it was like March
last spring.
2018, March, April, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so it's been almost 2 years, and this has been kind of fun, and hope to keep doing it. And the community that we have on Discord is awesome. And yeah,
I love you, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Wow.
Thanks, man. That's crazy. This is getting recorded, right?
Yeah,
this did get recorded. Yeah, awesome. So I'm gonna make a movie of this and pin that up there next to where Crowley put that Rob had a good idea on Discord. I want to make sure that it is immortalized.
Sure. Hey, take it where you can get them, because they don't come that often, do they?
They are rare nuggets.
I got you.
Rare nuggets.
I got you guys afraid of baby Jesus, but like.
So you guys got some interesting things happening. You've got Mandalorian coverage coming up. I hear that you might be covering Clear Skies pretty soon. That's pretty exciting to me. That's a cross between video games and films, and it's science fiction. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy covering that. Is there anything else coming up that you know? I know that you choose what you're covering via random number generators, or at least that's what it sounds like. But is there anything specific that you know you're going to cover after The Mandalorian and Clear Skies?
So when Picard comes out, when the second season of Picard comes out, we will cover that in real time. But other than that, we don't really have any plans that I know of.
Are we going to do, I think we talked about this, but maybe not. What is it? Bold New World? Was that the name of it? The Brave New World. Yeah, the one with Anson Mount.
We talked about doing that.
Yeah, I think are we doing that one live when that comes out?
I hadn't heard anything about it, so I mean, I somewhat kind of remember you two talking about it, but I didn't.
Yeah, we wanted to do that, but right before that, we were going to have to binge watch Discovery.
If Discovery's
so that we
involved,
could get that taken
it.
care of.
No.
Yeah.
If Discovery's involved, no, we're passing on.
For
that.
what
Discovery's not involved. Thank you. Thank you.
I was anti-Discovery quite a bit just because of the whole CBS All Access thing, and I binge watched it when Picard, Patrick Stewart gave everybody the gift earlier on this year, and I went all in on CBS All Access, and I watched Picard, and then I binged Discovery, and I was pleasantly surprised with Discovery. So I wouldn't count it out if I were you. That's just my unsolicited advice.
What you're not seeing right now is Jason's head is actually in the proverbial sand, like an ostrich.
Yeah, but it's rough. It's coarse. It
gets everywhere. Yeah.
I would really like to do Brave New World. Is what I would like to do. Can we officially say that would not? Because Anson Mount is Christopher Pike was hands down probably the best performance in Star Trek that I've seen.
So is Brave New World his tenure on the Enterprise?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I have no problems covering that.
Yes. I'll take what I can get, because he's like, no, boys, and no, the Project Power, and no, the superheroes. So I'll take the yeses where I can get it.
You heard it here, guys. So if for some reason we don't start covering it, it's Jason's fault.
100%.
Because he already said yes. So one thing we also have coming up, and it's not Satis related, but it's CBC related. We're planning on doing a little special look back towards the end of the season, Christmas time.
What season?
End of the year. Sorry.
What are we doing? What are we doing?
We're doing a little special look back. You didn't know that?
like the year in CBC.
Yeah, the year in CBC. We're gonna have you, me, and Jason.
When did we discuss
I
that?
guess we're discussing it now.
We are. We discussed it before. You weren't
It's
there.
coming out on Thursdays, right?
Oh yeah. This was another thing that Jason and I talked about during Squadrons, apparently, because he's totally forgotten.
What drug was I on when we decided we were going to do this?
It was actually a conversation between Jason, and I, and you got wrangled into
I
it.
swear to God, he roofied me.
Good God!
Through Squadrons
No, you need to look
somehow.
at your text messages. It involves
Were you
gifts.
talking? Wait a
Remember
minute.
that?
Were you talking to him while he was driving?
I'm fairly confident Rob
Maybe.
thinks he's talking to Jason, and instead, he's
Jason, it involves Christmas gifts
fairly
and blowing
confident
people's
that's what
minds.
I have
Okay.
a feeling that the abject disappointment that I hear through the microphone every week from Jan is literally what she does 24/7 while he's rambling on about shit he wants to do for CBC, where he thinks he's talking to Jason, but he's just talking to Jan. Like, that's what I think happens.
Well, I think it's fair to say stay tuned for some great things, both from Creative Brain Candy and from Sadis and all your other projects that you've got going on. And if somebody wants to find Smoking and Drinking in Space, which is Sadis, by the way, I never quantified that. If somebody wants to find it, you can find it at creativebraincandy.com. That's all one word, no breaks, and no special spellings,
Yep.
no E's forgotten or anything like is common in podcasting.
You can also go to
And-
smokinganddrinkinginspace.com.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's
And
got
if
its
they
own
want to
site.
listen to you recording live, is it smokinganddrinkingspace.live?
No, we don't actually record live, but
What? Who would want to listen to
yeah,
that?
no, we decided not to subject our listeners to that shit show.
Well, we let Jason edit that. Okay, look, you thought this hour was a shit show? This was mild.
I'm a
This was
big
this was
fan.
actually good.
This was like the show.
That's because you had
It
a
was
host that
crazy.
wasn't Jason.
Yeah.
My God, Rob.
Probably.
This is why Rob's not in charge of marketing. This is actually good. This is much
This
better
was-
show.
No, I'm just saying this was we didn't have to say cut, take two, let's try this again because I can't say sadist properly or
So
Yeah,
on
I don't know.
betterpodcasting.com, which is a show that I do for other hobby podcasters, is a big thing that we recommend is everybody edit. So I'm a big proponent of that, whether you're digging at each other or not. I think that editing, especially with the hobby podcast, is something that you have to do. And
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah, I think Rob really needs to learn to do it. I'll be 100% honest. I think that I agree with you. I think if you're in podcasting and you're doing it as a hobby, you're not making any money, learn to edit. Because then you understand what goes into it when you fuck up, how much work that takes to make it sound.
I don't screw up.
fuck up. Oh, Jesus.
I don't screw up.
Dear baby Jesus. Or you humbly asking for Rob
and
podcast.
with that, I am Stargate Pioneer. I go by SP. You can find me at GonnaGeek.com. And these guys are on Smoking and Drinking in Space on CreativeBrainCandy.com. Thanks for coming. We appreciate you listening.
Yep. Have a good Halloween.
It's over, Rob. It's over.
Thanks, Stargate.
Not
we
yet.
really appreciate you doing this for
Yeah.
us.
Thank you, SP. Like I'm sure this was like driving a semi truck blindfolded on an ice road during a meteor shower.
Honestly, I'm just glad he didn't back out after you threw him under the bus so many times about his gaming performance.
It was only for Squadrons. I'm sure he's a great gamer, just not that.
Well, yeah, this is something that you guys don't know about me is I'm actually a disabled veteran and I have significant nerve damage, which is true. Between C4 and C6 in my spine. So playing any game is difficult for me, but I enjoy it. So thanks for having me on Squadrons, even though I suck.
No.
now
we had
now
a
we
great
feel
time.
bad.
Yeah,
Now
Rob.
James is like, actually, I think James froze.
I didn't freeze, asshole.
You guys
He's-
didn't know. It's okay. You guys just thought that I was sucky because I sucked.
Well, yeah. No, I thought you were sucky because you were old.
That's true too. I am AARPH.
I mean, I'm old too. So normally
Older
I
than
suck at these games, but Squadrons I don't suck at because I have the advantage of VR. So it's fun for me to finally be on top and be like, everybody else sucks.
I do get on Squadrons quite a bit, and I was just on there last night playing, so it's still fun for me, even though I suck.
Somebody needs to tell me when you guys get on. Like, I got fuck all going on. I'm gonna go smoke a cigar now. So if you're playing now, I'm gonna go smoke a cigar. But
I haven't been
normally
in a
I'm
week, so
I want to see you smoke a cigar and play Squadrons at the same time.
You can't, doesn't PlayStation have the same thing that Xbox has where you can go remote and play it remote? You don't have to be at the box. So he could be outside smoking and being on a tablet or a smartphone and play. Yeah.
VR, man. VR. That's the only way I play that game is VR.
You can do that remotely, right?
no.
No, it's
wired in.
tethered. Yeah, it's tethered to the fucking like.
Alright.
There's like a 7-foot radius that I can fucking walk around, and then even then, like if I turn around, I get tangled up in the cord and fall. And
So when you're playing, are you sitting down or are you standing up?
No, I sit down. So there's a couple of games. Most VR games you got to be standing up, like Iron Man VR, you got to stand up. Batman, you got to stand up. Vader Immortal, you got to stand up, and those are hard for me because I too am disabled. So those are hard for me to do. But the couple of games that are really great for VR that you don't have to is Star Trek Bridge Crew, which is just absolutely amazing. Love that game. And then Squadron. So those are the two games that I spend the most time in VR in.
I would probably get sick myself. But
No.
we'll see.
So both games do a really good job of grounding you. Games that don't do a good job of grounding you, where like it's literally a first person view or a third person, those are the ones where you get sick unless you like move your arms. But both Squadrons and Bridge Crew, you're on the bridge of a starship, and so you're not moving. You're watching a view screen, and you can look and see all the Bridge Crew because you're playing with other players.
I
So
might
you can-
try it.
It's really fun.
I also have Meniere's disease, which gives me incredible vertigo. So I'll try it if you're telling me that it's grounded. But
yeah, those are grounded. But like some of the other stuff, I would maybe stay away from because it made me sick too.
Okay.
But like they've done it, like it's come a long way in the last couple of years because even the Iron Man game, it does a good job of grounding you in the helmet, right? Because you're Iron Man, so it grounds you in
Right.
that helmet, and it doesn't look like a first person experience, but it is. He's got all this other shit going on, so it does a good job of it. I didn't get sick in that either.
I didn't know.
Yeah, man. Check those out. Those are good. I like those a lot.
All right. Well, thanks, SP. I guess we're done.
Thanks, SP.
But I look forward to the next
Bye,
time
listeners.
I get hands strung into doing one of these.
Hamstrung. Wow. What does he have over you?
All right. I was just gonna say.
Yeah, see, that's why I kept on harping on the blackmail.
Mhm. It was a cry for help.
Do we need to get the Yoda doll out too? And
Yeah.
yeah, everywhere.
So you're really making me show up tomorrow for this
Yeah,
to do?
you got
Damn straight.
I'll be there.
If you don't show up, I will. I'd love to talk about it.
Well, we can discuss
James,
it
I
after
think
the
your
show.
audience wouldn't like that.
Well, I don't have an audience. Like, just I'm all for. I get such. Yeah, I'm gonna shit all over it. Like, you realize that, right? I'm gonna shit all over it.
I don't
Just
agree
clean up
with
after
how
yourself.
you guys cover or how you what you guys think of everything, but I respect what you're actually saying about things. For instance, Insurrection, I actually enjoy, and I know you guys hated it, but I had fun listening to your opposite point of view to mine.
It wasn't as bad as I remembered it, but it was still bad.
Yeah, it was still pretty bad. It wasn't awful though.
Just
Well,
enjoy. Maybe I just have the hots for that. What's her name?
Yeah,
The Picard.
yeah.
Oh man.
Oh yeah, call me, baby. Yeah.
God damn it. Are we recording?
Yes.
Is this still going out?
Yep. Another restraining order. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, later, boys.
Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.